So principle number 8, the dangers of the team, should they be with you. And we have started by saying how important it is to travel in groups, to build a team, to travel with others on this journey that God is calling you on. But there are also dangers involved. And as you begin this journey, it's vital that you are aware that not everyone who wants to join your journey will be good for your journey. There are some people who will detract and divert your journey, who will destabilize your community, who will cause you headaches and heartaches as a leader. And the truth is that you cannot avoid it all. You simply cannot. But you can be wise before the event to enable you to kind of head off the really critical issues or cope better with them when they arise. And this is a point particularly for planters, those who are involved in establishing sort of new stuff, but it has definite resonance for anybody who's leading any kind of community, embarking on any sort of journey of change. And so there are 4 different types of people that I'm going to share with you that I have encountered on my journey of leadership and pioneering, and you would do very well to be aware of the first 3 types and to be very wary of the 4th. And so the 3 types of people that you are to be aware of are what I call attractors, adopters, and leavers. And here's what I mean by these 3 groups. Attractors are people who are attracted to the planter or leader and not necessarily to the vision. And this is very difficult to eliminate completely. It is part of our human psychology. We find it difficult to disentangle the leader from the vision. And in fact, it is absolutely necessary and important to have some kind of affinity to the leader. This person is leading you into battle, of course. But if this is their only or primary affinity, then there are 2 problems. When the leader lets them down, it's not when, it's not if, it's going to be when. When they let them down, then this person will likely disengage from the journey. And secondly, they will struggle to engage with the vision. They might not even understand it, and they likely won't throw all their weight behind it. You can often tell these people because they talk about the leader more often than they talk about the vision. Second type of person I encountered are adopters. And adopters are people who are attracted to the new and not necessarily to the vision. And again, these are not bad people to have on your journey. You want early adopters. These are sort of essential in terms of the early phase of any community or any journey. But if the new is their only or their primary affinity, there is a key problem. They will become disillusioned or demotivated when the new loses its shine or when the new becomes slightly old. And you can often tell these people because they talk about the new and then the next new and the next new more often than they talk about the vision. Third group of people to be aware of are leavers. And these very simply are people who will not stay with the whole journey. These are people who will start with you or join with you and then they will leave for a number of reasons. And the sort of received wisdom on planting is that your plant team within 2 years you will have 1/3 of them are going to actually leave, even in healthy church plants. But it will not end there. It will keep happening. Every journey has leavers. Every leader has to suffer with them. Even Jesus, the Son of God on earth, has leavers, as we read about in John 6. And it is one of the most plaintive remarks, I think, that came out of Jesus' mouth in verse 67 of John 6, when he turns to his 12 disciples and says, "You don't want to leave either, do you?" He's having all these people leave him because it's got difficult and controversial. And he turns to them and says, "You don't want to leave as well, do you?" And you can just kind of feel his pain. All these people are leaving. Are you going to stick with me? And Bill Hybels, the great Bill Hybels, or not so great anymore. But anyway, Bill Hybels, it happened to him regularly. And he said it's one of the most painful things about leadership and one of the most painful things about planting. I guarantee it will happen to you. It will happen. You can't avoid it. But don't take it personally or become submerged by it or become distracted from your call and vision. So you must be aware of attractors, adopters, leavers. But you must be very wary of a fourth group, and they are shooting stars. And shooting stars are people who are attracted to themselves and their ideas and not at all to the vision. And they are a type of destructive early adopter, but they are consumed with themselves and the impact they can have on a fledgling community. They are called shooting stars because they arrive with heat and light and noise, and then they disappear and leave all sorts of stuff in their sort of wake. New sort of communities, new journeys will nearly always attract these types of people, and they can be genuinely devastating. And they are attracted to kind of new, smaller communities because they feel that they can have a greater influence, a greater voice, a greater impact on them than the bigger, more established communities. And you can often tell these people because they talk about themselves and what they can give and their ideas more than the vision or the call of God on their lives in that context. So what do we do with these people? You know, what do we do with the attractors, adopters, leavers, shooting stars? You can't avoid them. So what's the best way of minimizing the effect on your community and you as a leader? And here's the best answer I can give. Only have people join you who are called to your vision. And of course, by this, I do not mean kind of non-Christians who join you or who become Christians in your journey. Hopefully, you'll be making and growing disciples constantly. But Christians who join your journey at the beginning or in the middle of it need to be called to your vision. The best filter for people is missional vision. And so I'd find a way of articulating this vision, and we'll talk about this more in our next session. I'll find a way of kind of filtering people sort of through it. It's the best way to minimize planter attraction and the fascination of the new from the early adopters and the pain of leavers and the destruction of the shooting stars.